What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back once again for Career Mode, episode number 2 of Season 2 of the Career Mode journey. Marduk Motorsport lives on, Benjamin Daly lives on, just about, after our close call at the finale of Season 1. Check out the first episode of this new season if you haven't already, the Bahrain Grand Prix. Absolute banger. And a result which I honestly didn't see coming. But let's roll into episode 2.
Okay, now this is an interesting one.
Okay, Nico is at risk of some burnout, so we're going to treat him to a spa day to bring back some of that focus.
Thanks for dealing with that. The department appreciates it.
So Nico is having a spa day. I think last episode he was doing some yoga. He is very much a high-maintenance teammate, so to speak. But it's paying off. Nico getting a podium in the first race. Spoiler alert. You should have clicked on the opening race of the season by now. But, yeah, Nico is bang on the pace so far. I was really found out for pace in the first episode. Hopefully in episode 2 here, we're not too bad. Anyway, we've got a massive break between Spain and Bahrain. And we're going to fit a lot of facility upgrades. We're going to do a lot of just car upgrades. So we're going to go from major front downforce. That'll go on in time for the Spanish Grand Prix. We can do weight reduction, but we're going to have to wait a few days to get the new weekly resources in. So hopefully this time next week we'll be able to squeeze that on. And then it'll go on in time for the next Grand Prix. In terms of facilities, we're going to do a fitness center upgrade. Nico should be back from his spa day very soon, and then we're going to test him in the gym very swiftly afterwards. In terms of other, I guess, facility upgrades, we can't really do too much. We can't afford too much now that things are getting into spec level 2. The price of things goes up pretty dramatically. There's another event. We had a lot of those, actually, heading into this episode of Career Mode because there was such a big break. We also are level 15 in terms of the team acclaim, meaning we can get a third sponsor on. That is going to be sizable for us, trying to increase the funds of the team. Very much looking forward to that, and hopefully that'll mean all the facility upgrades are going to be a lot more affordable going forward. So we signed Alkins Energy, a bit of a classic from F1 2020. They return to the fold. In terms of other upgrades, I actually haven't done that major weight reduction upgrade yet. We actually can't afford it. We have to fast forward another week in order to get it on, hopefully. Okay, and again, another event. All of them were pertaining to Nico Rosberg, by the way. Basically, we're going to be stat padding him, essentially. He got a lot of boosts in a lot of different areas, so Nico is going to be even more OP than usual. Anyway, we get to the final day before the or the mid-season break or whatever it is, and now we can afford to do another major upgrade. And again, we're going to go for the weight reduction. It's the most potent upgrade, and we can actually sneak it on before the Spanish Grand Prix. I could have done a major rear downforce upgrade, but that would have only gone on in time for Monaco. So I'm all about getting on the best upgrades as quickly as I can. And weight reduction is the best upgrade you can do in career mode. Anyway, we've got some more money in. And again, we can upgrade more things regarding facilities. And we're going to focus on reliability, because that was our Achilles heel in Season 1. And now that we've got a better car and big points are at risk, you know, we want to protect those points finishes by making sure we actually get to the end of a Grand Prix. So, yeah, it wasn't a priority in Season 1. Season 2, though, it's going to take a massive focus. And also upgrading marketing, which I never do.
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend. We need your input on how to address an issue concerning our driver.
And finally, before we get to the Spanish Grand Prix, we have another dilemma. We're going to boost Nico's racecraft. So literally every stat of Nico's is going to be boosted heading into Spain. Lovely.
Thanks for stepping in and helping handle that.
So, really, he should be winning the whole damn Grand Prix. We'll have to wait and see. There we go. Nico has got 100 experience. He's got 99 racecraft, 91 awareness, and then the pace is 91, I think. So, yeah, Nico is going to be very, very tough to beat heading into this race. We still have resource points left over, 600. I said we're going to focus on durability this season, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and we're going to go for a energy store upgrade. It's the only one we can do. It's a 20% off discount. And it's got a 40% failure chance, so it probably is going to fail. But we need to do the groundwork. We need to get the ball rolling on this kind of thing. We only get 2 energy stores over the course of the season, I believe. If not 2, then maximum of 3. So if one of those fails, then you're going to have to take grid penalties. So, yeah. Anyway, to the performance index now. And you can see that we are ahead of AlphaTauri. But Williams have shot up from being the second worst car to overtaking Alfa Romeo. They have had a quantum leap in terms of performance jump. And they are now swiftly in the midfield. We've made gains on Aston Martin, Alpine, Ferrari. So we should be more competitive. But, you know, everyone moved forward in performance heading into this race. But the kind of upgrades that we put on were major front downforce and major weight reduction. I mean, it doesn't get much more beefy than that in terms of effective upgrades. There are people who probably upgraded like fuel efficiency or, you know, other, you know, silly upgrades which don't really bring you that much performance compared to what we're bringing. So I feel like we're going to be quite strong at this racetrack. Ignore the spin in practice. We're pushing the limits here with our time trial set up, and I've got to say, the car feels good. It feels really good in this weekend of career mode. Maybe it's because I've been used to driving the Williams in co-op, which is still pretty crap. But this car feels really nice. It feels very nimble now. It used to feel understeery and heavy, but I tell you what, that front downforce upgrade, coupled with weight reduction, has made this thing handle really nicely. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this car can do when we take all the fuel out, put the soft compound tires on, and go for a blast in qualifying. Wish me luck. Right then, the sandbags are coming off. Not only my car, but especially Nico as well. Let's see what he can do as we head into qualifying 1 of the Spanish Grand Prix. This is a circuit which is, well, previously I think it would expose our weaknesses, and that is the chassis, the downforce, but also how heavy the car is, and that is one of the Mercedes blocking me down into turn 1. That was Valtteri Bottas. Here's a replay from his onboard. He's come straight out of the pit lane and just not used his mirrors at all. Completely balked our run here in Q1. We did just set a banker time. I was going for another lap, and yeah, there was absolutely no spatial awareness there. That right there, as per the title, should be penalized. Valtteri Bottas should 100% be getting a grid penalty for that. You can't be getting in the way of competitors like that. It's a slam dunk penalty in real life. I feel like Codemasters should be introducing grid penalties into the game as well for misdemeanors. They do for things like contact, but when the AI, or when anyone gets in the way, it should be a grid penalty. But I guess Codemasters have much bigger fish to fry. I'm looking at you. Online stability glitch problems. Anyway, where are we? 18 seconds to go in the session, and we're currently in the drop zone, which is not great for my chances of winning the Grand Prix this weekend. Not that that's actually entirely on the cards. We're probably looking at maybe Q3 if we're lucky. If we can absolutely nail the lap, that's where Nico is. He's right on the edge of the top 10. We're improving by 5.5 tenths, so we did manage to find a lot of time in that last run to get us out of jail and into Q2. Nico's P10, 8 tenths off the lead or pole position, provisional pole. Lewis Hamilton down in P9. So once again, Hamilton and Rosberg joined at the hip. But Hamilton, I'm guessing that was maybe an early run in Q1, maybe only did 1 lap, and he's got a lot more pace to find, as we know. But Nico absolutely getting the most out of the car in this session. Q2 now, and a lot of the top teams are running medium compound tires. That might be an opportunity for us to sneak into Q3 if we're lucky. I'm looking at Carlos Sainz as one of those that we could potentially jump if he doesn't want to go for another run. But yeah, here we go for Q2. And I've only got 1 new set of tires to use in this session. I used 2 brand new sets in Q1. So this is the last throw of the dice for us. Through turn 4 now, and we're taking a bit of a later apex than what we have previously in all of our runs. I actually braked a little bit later, turned in later, and I took that approach to a lot of the corners on this lap in particular, and it seems to be paying off. We're up by 3.5 tenths as we run through the middle sector, really close to track limits through that chicane, and as such, the risk has been worth the reward. 4.5 tenths up, nearing 5 tenths as we head towards the 3rd sector now, and we get the nose in there, nice and easy. 3rd gear, minimize the wheel spin into the intricate winding corners of Sector 3, and this is now where the tyres start to overheat. The front left tyre is screaming for mercy. A bit of a back-end loss there as we got a bit greedy with the curve through the last chicane, and on the power nice and early. Don't lose the back end here as the car is on edge with the balance up to the line. We improve by over 7 tenths of a second, and that gets us through to qualifying 3 for the first time in ever. We've never got into Q3 in career mode on this game, I don't think. So there we go. We've done it at a circuit which you would think, well, in the past has been our weakness. Downforce has not been the strength of this car, but we have now made it a strength with the upgrades that we just chucked on. We are qualifying Nico Rosberg by 0.02 of a second. He gets provisional pole position. He'll be happy, I think, to get on the mediums and potentially do it 1 stop in the race. For us, though, I'm actually not sure that the Q3 appearance is going to do us a world of good in the race, because we're limited to the softs, and that's going to make strategy actually quite difficult for tomorrow. So split strategies for Marduk Motorsport. I didn't even bother qualifying because the times that those guys were already doing in Q3, I could not get near. I wouldn't even be able to get within half a second of that. So I thought I'd save the engine and focus on the race. Let's do it.
Welcome along then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix, a race which saw Max Verstappen win on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016. This after the dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg on the first lap. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Ricciardo, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Perez, Norris, Sainz, Gasly and Benjamin, Rosberg, Ocon, Sebastian Vettel and Tsunoda, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Marcus Armstrong and George Russell, Latifi, Tigtum, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
So, no group penalties for anyone up and down the field. It is only race 2 of a new season. But, yeah, it's P10 for us. We're going to be starting on the soft. I imagine Nico is going to be on the medium compound tyre, running the alternate strategy. I'm going to try and be quite aggressive off this start and see how many places I can get. Maybe I can hold back some people for Nico. He can do the overcut and then win the race in a blaze of glory or something. That would be incredible. But it's looking unlikely that the 1 stop is possible, at least according to the pre-race strategy. So tyre wear is higher than we expected, it seems. Soft, medium, medium is the way to go compared to soft, medium, hard, which looks like a terrible strategy on the alternate set, but we do the personalized strategy, and a 1 stop is possible based on the tyre wear numbers. So top tip, guys, if you can, press the Y button or whatever the button is on your wheel or controller, and you can bring up your personalized tire wear and fuel wear numbers. And that is what gets you the OP strategy sometimes. Anyway, 5 red lights, and we are underway for the Spanish Grand Prix. Looks like a pretty good start up against Pierre Gasly in the Alpine. We draw alongside for the second phase of the start. Not so good for us. We try and cover the inside as we head down into turn 1. We might get Gasly and Sainz. Sainz was a bit of a stretch in my defense. Anyway, we get past Gasly. P9 for us, and hopefully Nico can follow him through. No, he cannot. He's dropped actually down to P12. Sainz is up next. We're going to try and go around the outside of turn 4 here, but yeah, again, nothing really doing there. We're going to have to hope that he gets balked in behind Lando Norris, which he does at turn 5, though. Around the outside, but unfortunately no exit speed to get him on this occasion. Again, these guys getting very, very antsy off this opening lap. Perez and Leclerc getting very close for comfort. Perez might have some damage. Sainz gets a bad run out of turn 9, and we're going to get him down into turn 10. Can we get Norris as well? Perez going defensive and very slowly at this phase of the Grand Prix. Lando backs out of it, and we get his position 2. P7 in this race on the opening lap, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered in this Spanish Grand Prix. They're getting a bit wayward there. We adjust the brake bias forward just by 1 click to 56%. Hopefully that'll help the rear tyres a little bit. But yeah, tyres are going to be the determining factor in this opening stint of the Grand Prix. The softs are not a good race tyre. The front left is going to be overheating through turn 3, and then sector 3 is where the rears can overheat if you burst into wheel spin. But also the front left has to do a lot of work there too. So yeah, trying to maintain a decent level of consistency in this opening stint is going to be paramount to us finishing well in this race. You can see the it's not even understeer, it's just sliding heading into that slow turn 10 corner. We're going to have to rein that in a little bit if we're to get a bit of our pace back in this opening stint. But yeah, we're really struggling, at least compared to the guys up front. They're already checking out 2.5, 3 seconds up the road. They are in much faster cars, to be fair, but the difference in performance now is getting ever closer the deeper we get into this career mode. Here comes Lando around the outside at turn 1. Can't get me on this occasion. Even without DRS, Lando is ridiculously fast. That's a warning for us. 2 more of those, and we'll be having ourselves a 3-second time penalty. We're trying to stretch this now until like lap 9, I think it is, our recommended pit window, and then we're going to go on to hards and stay out for the rest of the Grand Prix. The default strategy for the AI is a 2 stop, so I think there's big potential for us to get points. We just need to stay somewhat close to the cars ahead of us, and we might be able to get them too. Meanwhile, again, struggling at turn 10 to get the nose in. Maybe just rushing the corner a little bit. The rotation doesn't feel all that great in the opening phase of this Grand Prix. Maybe I can wind back the brake bias to help the rotation, but then that really kills off the rear tires. It's a delicate balance on these tires. I'm trying to get the most out of all of them, but
we're approaching the pit window.
Yeah, it doesn't
on the hards.
Doesn't seem to be working at this stage. Here comes Lando now with DRS, and he was a lot closer coming out of the last corner on this occasion, but I had nothing really to fight with there. Even though we're the fastest in the speed traps, we've got the best engine in F1, still can't keep that McLaren behind with its OP drag reduction. Anyway, out of the last corner, Lando pits. He's committing to the 2 stop, as is Bottas. Anyone else? No, they're the early adopters of the 2 stop. Sainz behind us next in P7, and then it's Ocon.
Don't panic just yet, but we've seen a problem at our end. We're looking into it.
Good. Thanks, Jeff. Hopefully there's no problem. Ocon has jumped Rosberg, by the way, and he's the leader of the medium compound runners. Just want to check if there's any kind of problem rearing its ugly head. The front left tire is really overheating, but apart from that, I think we're okay. So we're going to press on as best we can. Hopefully it's a non-issue, and we can charge on for some big points in this Spanish Grand Prix.
Okay, looks like a mechanical failure. We're going to have to ask you to find a safe spot to retire. Sorry about that. I repeat, find somewhere to retire immediately. It's too dangerous to stay on track.
Thanks, Jeff. we're out of the Spanish Grand Prix. We gave it our best shot, but the engine is kaput. Maybe we've been too aggressive with the tune of the engine. I don't know. Oh, Nico came really close to binning us both off there. And we nearly had a double DNF for the team. We're out of the Grand Prix. Nico is going to press on and hopefully get big points for the team. But for our side of the garage, that is utter disaster. And it comes immediately after we invested in durability. What a joke.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Yay! Well done, Mercedes, on grabbing another boring win. I bet there was no overtakes after we retired from that Grand Prix. So I guess we didn't really miss out on much. But yeah, we really could have done with the points there. We were leading the constructors heading into this race, mind you, after the first Grand Prix of the season. 3rd and 4th for us in Bahrain, and it's only 10th for Nico Rosberg. I guarantee if we stayed in the race, we could have had a massive DRS train. Nico could have picked them off one by one with the straight line speed, and it would have been a very different picture for this Spanish Grand Prix. But that's the way it goes. Player failures are now a thing in F1 2021. We've been asking for these features for years, and now the added realism is there. We just need to shore up the reliability of our car. And honestly, it shows. We do have the worst car in the field for durability. So yeah, we really need to sort that out, since we're in the position now to score points on the regular. If we're not even finishing races, then what's the point in having all the pace in the car? So that's the mindset we've got. We definitely need to work on reliability, and we'll have a look at what part actually failed in a second, and that's the part that we're going to focus on, I guess, going forward. But that's very deflating.
Bad luck today. That must be incredibly disappointing.
It looked like your car wasn't 100%. Would you like to comment on that?
Not really. I wish I didn't sign Renault as an engine supplier.
Your teammate beat you today. Was it a setup issue or something else?
Setup issue? Did you watch the race?
It must be crushing when something goes wrong that's entirely out of your control.
Oh, now you remember, Claire. Good.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Why do you... Was it a setup issue? What do you think? What do you think, Claire? Anyway, thanks guys for watching this Spanish Grand Prix. I'm just as disappointed as what you guys are. We get a claim level 10 if there's any positivity to take out of this race. I mean, yeah, there are positives, I suppose. The car is now getting a lot more competitive. We've had a massive uptake in performance, which is good to see. But yeah, it's hard to showcase the performance when you don't get to the end of the Grand Prix. So yeah, bit disappointing there. Let me know what you guys think I should do in terms of the upgrade path. Should we continue to focus on performance with a little bit of durability, or should durability take center stage now in terms of what we do R&D wise? I actually don't even know. If we had the best durability in the whole field, would these random failures still be happening? I honestly don't know. It might genuinely be a waste of time. So if any of you guys have got deeper in career mode than I have and have invested heavily in durability and still not seen results, I'd love to know. But it turns out it was the MGH that has failed. And, you know, it's a bit annoying to lose a part so early on in the season, so early on in its lifespan. Still had so much life to give. The most of the parts are all around 15-20%. So yeah, we're pretty much going to have to take some grid penalties this season again. But you know, that's the way it goes. We have to we have to live with our choices, and we've gone for a very brutal career mode. And I think that's why you guys are enjoying my career mode, because it is so difficult. And you know, the horrible days that we go through now will only make the good days even sweeter when we do find that little bit of success. But there we go, guys. That has been this race for today, the Spanish Grand Prix. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. And I guess as a closer to the video, let me know where you think I would have finished in that race. I'd love to know your predictions. Because I think we were definitely on for some points there with the AI doing one less stop. But anyway, that's it from me today. Join me next time for the Monaco Grand Prix, where we are going to hopefully gun for our best result ever in this team. Until then, I'll see you next time.